MadisonAvenue.com afforded me a front row seat to the rapidly advancing agency cultures in Europe and Asia. I learned that without the baggage of legacy systems and applications, new businesses could leverage amazing productivity and blazing time to revenue in a fraction of the time it took firms in the US. I took full advantage, and Smart became incredibly profitable in record time. Then the dot-bomb crash hit. I'd shorted the box on my warrant, so I avoided the tax nightmares of many of my contemporaries. But one of my assets was a huge bank of mainframe time and an understanding that the agency strategies of buying their way into the internet through acquisition of interactive agencies was ill-advised. The two cultures didn't mesh. There was a vast disconnect where it counted the most, in creative. That's when I started IAPIA, the Institute for Advanced Practices in Advertising. It was a statement from A.G. Lafley, the CEO of Procter & Gamble, that lit the fire under my ass. We need to reinvent the way we market to consumers. We need a new model. It does not exist. No one has one yet, but we need to get going now. We need to reinvent the way we market to consumers. If ever there was a mandate to not just stretch the envelope, but shred the damn envelope into confetti and start from square one, that was it. Mr. Lafley made that comment at a convention of the American Association of Advertising Agencies. It didn't take me long to realize that nobody on Madison Avenue was paying attention. They were hooked on their 30-second crack pipe, and not even the largest client in the world was going to get them to kick the habit. So that left it up to me and people like me in Silicon Valley. Now I had a use for all that mainframe time. I would start at the beginning. Step 1, find out what the audience wants. So IAPIA sent out a questionnaire to 250,000 respondents. Please rank, by order of importance, the top 10 most meaningful things in your life. Within 2 weeks, I had the list. 87% of my sample had responded. I was hoping for 4%. It took 8 Cal State students 5 weeks to calculate the returns. And at the end of that process, IAPIA had a strong indication of what mattered most to Americans. The top 4 were as follows. 1, family well-being. 2, financial security. 3, personal development. And 4, fun and escape. I now knew what they didn't know. What does it take to engage the interest of the audience? What do they find meaningful? Now I was ready to reinvent the delivery system. Given the insights my research had yielded, the old cliche, content is king, suddenly had brand new meaning. Advertising had become meaningless because it no longer engaged the audience. But if I could attach content in any of my 4 topics of interest to a sponsor, I had them. So that's what I did. Using the Ning platform, I built a massive test site of content in the 4 topics of interest, as well as our 4 network feeder sites and 4 linked sponsor sites. On one of the feeder sites, I had content from regular folks and the other 4 topics of interest, as well as comments from employees of the sponsor. On another, I had content from professionals and other considered experts. I depended on search engine queries to provide traffic to the networked websites, and it worked like gangbusters. Now we were ready to pitch this reinvented advertising business model to a real advertiser.